Alrighty, so we're coaching the player Cascon in the chat right now, who is HGC in 2K19 LOL, and they're playing Tracer. So let's see, looking at this game right off the bat, one thing I will note, in the early game, let me look at both teams here before I say anything. I don't expect you to be able to whittle people that well and get kills outside of the enemy team misplaying. I think your kill pressure will only happen off of good Garrosh throws or the enemy team just getting caught out, or maybe like a great Lucio play or something. I expect you to lose team fights through just a lack of damage. Like you guys just don't have damage and you don't have sustained healing. So I expect the team fights not to go super well in the early game, but I think you scale really hard here. As I always say Tracer does, and that's when you actually have enough sustained damage to get kills outside of Garrosh or Lucio creating them for you. Or like a Gust play or something. So 13-16, that's when you can start to create kills here. Let's see.
The battle begins in...
I know, Varian, you already had Cannon. Seems good. He picked Falstad after I went Tracer. Seems good. Okay, so here, I already don't like it, Cascon. What the hell? What the hell? Okay. Okay, we're good. Yeah. So the very first thing I would do, rush to a bush. Rush to the bush. Get inside the fucking bush, Cascon. Because if you're in this bush, you can even be auto-attacking it next to the bush. Okay? You can even be auto-attacking it next to the bush, because if you're here auto-attacking the wave and Greymane steps up, that's a free melee on him. Your Garrosh doesn't know how to hit the combo, but that doesn't matter because you would be at so much more charge than you are right now. You're at 17% charge, you got 5% off hitting a minion, means you'd be at 15% more. You would be at 32% charge right now if you meleeed this Greymane. And also you'd actually be putting some level of kill pressure on him. Because look at how low he is right now and add a melee's worth of damage to that. You can kill him right here. Okay, he kind of just lets you do that. And so now, your job from this point forward is to just cut off rotations right here. You can do it at this bush if they all like stack up and show on the minion wave right here, or you can do it down here, or you can sit down right here and just be around this corner so they can't see you. But your entire job is to stop them from getting into the bottom lane, and your Garrosh just threw Zul into killing your Lucio. What the fuck was that recall? You're fine. What, and how you don't have recall? Cascon. Why? Whatever, you need both these globes. Good job, good job. I don't think you needed to blink twice, but maybe you did. Whatever. We'll see. Focus down the globe. So this is one thing I do when I have a lane alone to myself. It's you're going to, in any 1v1 situation against someone who's, unless you're against someone who's like hard melee and way hard mispositioning, you will lose health to take this globe if anyone on the enemy team is around, especially before level 4. So when I have a lane alone to myself like this, I hard focus down this this mage minion. Like this is something I do on my stream a lot. I will melee the globe minion specifically because I want to kill it before anyone else shows up on the enemy team. So we might see that come into play right here. Looks like instead they have 3 middle and 1 on their camp, so you're going to be fine. But this is the very first thing I kill every time I'm alone. Because otherwise you're just not able to step up to that globe for free. Oh, you should take this fight every time. Yeah. Okay, you shouldn't chase up that far. Because now the Sylvanas is able to free damage you. Like, I think if Varian was going to keep standing in your minion wave, you trade with him every time in that scenario, because the minion damage means you'll win it. But chasing him a little bit too far did get you punished right there by the Sylvanas and forced out your tap. Let's see. Don't melee that. There you go. You don't need to melee this. It's an 8-second CD. I'm liking the lack of melee. Alright, now you don't have it for 4 seconds. Let's see. You're gonna get absolutely nothing out of this. Melee, 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 there you go. Okay, the enemy team is fucking terrible, but let's talk about this. So look, let's look at this, shall we? So here, watch. You melee this minion, and oh look, you want to burst pressure the Sylvanas. Okay, now you actually have it right here. You just didn't press your buttons. You didn't make... Okay, so I assumed it was on CD, but no, you just didn't press the button. Okay. No, it wasn't. I can see it right here, Cascon. Hold on. It was bugged. Let's look at this melee CD, shall we? So you walk up, you melee. 1 Mississippi, 2 Mississippi, 3 Mississippi, 4 Mississippi, 5 Mississippi, 6 Mississippi, 7 Mississippi, 8 Mississippi. I counted 8 seconds, Cascon. I don't think there's a bug here. Oh man, that was a solid 10 Mississippis or so, Cascon. So anyway, when you do already have Pulse Bomb, what you want to do is Pulse Bomb melee really fast. I know he was joking. What you want to do is you want to Pulse Bomb melee super fast, and you would come out of this recall with 20% charge, and the Sylvanas would be lower health. So you could have meleeed her at about 146 or so, which means it would have been back up at 153, and she would have probably been dead anyway, but it was up. It would have been up again there, which means you probably could have meleeed right there and have been at actually 64% charge. So missing that melee means you're actually significantly farther away from this Pulse Bomb than you should be, because if you were 20% higher, you would be finishing your Pulse Bomb right now. Now your Pulse Bomb would be done. And if your Pulse Bomb was done right here, that Grey Mane might die. Let's see. Alright, follow up on the kill. Ooh, that's a shame. Oh. Not even gonna talk about that one. We all do that sometimes. This better be, is that a health pack? Yes! Alrighty, I was gonna say, I think that a lot of players underrate is that a health pack. Lucio is a healer that even though he can travel with you a lot of times and give you that AoE healing without focusing you specifically, his healing output is rather low, and it helps a lot to have him on your, or to have a, is that a health pack on your team to help out. I don't know what the hell your Garrosh was thinking there, but I at least like that you went the right level 4. Let's see, there's no way you can contest this at all. I would hit the tap right here. Like, I don't know, I guess you're just waiting for the Lucio to heal you? I guess, yeah, Lucio healing you plus the globe, you actually don't need the tap. I don't know why you're walking away from the Lucio heals. I feel like you would be at 100% if you just if you stood next to Lucio instead of walking away right there, which meant that you wouldn't be nearly in as much danger of dying right now. Holy shit, bruh. No, I chalk this up entirely to just not standing next to Lucio right there. Because you barely died, and that healing would have been the difference. Don't look at my blink charges? Oh lord. I didn't even consider that part of the equation. Lucio, what are you doing? Y'all better win this game or I want my money back. Get the globe, there you go. This better be a bullet time. This better be a bullet time. There you go. Harass the Varian. You can totally harass the Varian, like you're at full health. If they poke you, then you'll just heal it back off anyway. Your health regen and Lucio healing are being wasted as a resource while you're sitting here at 100%. You could be killing this Sylvanas. Or at the very least poking her down. Like, I think there's way too much minion shooting going on right now. Keep in mind, if you meleeed a hero, you would have been done with your pulse bomb like over a full magazine ago. So you would either have gotten the Sylvanas kill or be going into this team fight with a pulse bomb ready to go, but instead you're 12% more. You earn 6% charge per magazine, so you're 2 full magazines away from getting the bomb right now. Even if you had the bomb right now, this Sylva's dead. the fact that you didn't charge it right there and spent so much time hitting minions and not getting those melees off the enemy heroes, that could have been one more blink and he probably would have died, because then your Lucio would have booped him, he would have stayed in. But I don't blame you for not hitting that play. That was great recognition of that of Zool, apparently, stepping up to you too close. And you need to follow your team here. See, my goal would be, as I'm doing this, I'm staring at the Grey Mane. If the Grey Mane turns back in, ooh, that melee right there actually was how you were going to kill the Grey Mane. You lost your ability to kill Grey Mane by using melee on this target that's guaranteed to already be dead, whereas that melee would enable you to finish the Grey Mane. Because now you would have been able to blink onto him if you went to the right instead of up, and this Grey Mane dies every single time, and your teammates already kill this guy. So you missed the double kill right there. Because the Grey Mane thought he was safe. You're saying don't just melee on cooldown. Let's see here. Yeah, see, like here, once you've got your bomb charged up, melee is exclusively, because melee's for charging bomb, for DPSing faster or helping you kill things. You only use it to DPS faster if you don't think you're going to be killing things in the next 8 seconds. Enemy team's right there. There's a very realistic chance you were going to fight. Once the bomb was charged, don't melee. Save it. Let's see if you're gonna go down, clear this lane. Yep. Remember, like I said, Globe dies first. Especially as Health Pack Tracer, Globe always dies first. Unless you're saving it for somebody. Because if you killed that Globe, because look at how low this tank minion is that you were shooting last. If you killed that Globe minion and walked in, you would have so much extra health right now. Because it would be overhealing you, like you would be topped off, and you would still have a little bit of the globe duration left, and so you would effectively have like 120% of a health bar, or whatever, 110, 115, whatever you want to call it. Instead, you're at like 95% of a health bar, and when you think of it in terms of that like 20% difference, like that's huge. Let's see. A 15% difference, more likely. If I'm you, I'm just eyeballing that Sylvanas. Looks like she started position on the side. As I mentioned before, you want to be on the outskirts of the fight, poking in on whoever you can abuse. Like right now, okay. I need to see if you locked in your 10 before throwing that bomb. When you're at like 9.9, unless the bomb is guaranteed to get the kill, you wait for that quantum spike. Because I already know, Control 2, it's the second one. You've got Sticky Bomb, Quantum Spike, Pulse Rounds, right? Yep, there we go. 1, 2, and 3, Sticky Bomb, Quantum Spike, Pulse Rounds. You hit Control 2 the second you ding 10. Let's see here. I don't expect you to have like this level of like super specific knowledge down. That it still gives extra damage? No, we'll see. I'm actually not sure if that's how it works. Certain abilities work like that and some don't. It's purely a matter of testing. Okay. Bomb went out right there without a level 10. So we're gonna see. Oh. Alright, it does work like that. Hell yeah. I did not know that, honestly. That's actually kind of good to know. Oh, you had that Grey Mane kill. At the very least, he was gonna get lower than he was. But I think he blinked out when you weren't actually in that much danger. Let's see, reloading while you're in your downtime, that's good. You're building up pulse bomb charge, there you go. Oh, what was that melee? So let's see, you're already at really high charge when that happens. Is there a way I can see your charge anywhere but getting the UI bug where it's just showing that? Okay, this is a common UI bug where it doesn't show your percentage, it just shows that it's not active, which is really lame. Yeah, you meleeed when you were already at like a really high charge number. So let's see, so that was completely unnecessary and would have helped you kill this Varian. Because this isn't going to kill him, this is going to get him to about here. To about that much. Oh, wait a second. Why did that do so little damage? Hold on. Oh no, it's because he's taunt, and taunt has a fuck ton of health now. I forgot about that. And also it's right at level 10 when it does the least damage. I was gonna say, that feels like it should have done way more damage. It still feels like it should have done. Hold on. Why? I can't see the second damage number. It's right behind the first. Hold on a second. I gotta see this. That should have hit harder. I'm pretty sure. Let's see. He should be 7. He's at 1451. Oh, 24. 2500. God, he's got so much health. He takes 1k. No, did as much as it's supposed to. He's just dummy thick. Alright. Regardless, this bomb is bad? Oh, yes. Because now you're guaranteeing that you're going into the next fight with literally minimum pulse bomb charge. Like, that bomb was never going to resort in a kill, but you still should have had your melee available, and it still should have been a more realistic kill than it was. Because now if Garrosh hits that stun, you have a bomb on this Zool, or the Sylvanas is going to try to help, and then you just kill her. Melee, reload in your downtime, there you go. Let's see. Okay. That was an ability usage from the Sylvanas. And let's see, you should be harassing. Like you're not baiting the Varian, you're sitting outside of his charge range. In this scenario, I'm just sitting here right at the edge of his cast range, just like, come on, fucking do it. Press the button, press the E button. You know you want to fucking do it. You know what I mean? And you're not even giving him the option to debate himself by standing outside of his charge range. How many blinks do I have? 3. You haven't really blinked around much. Let's see, you're sitting at 2 blinks, 3 blinks right here. 3 blinks, 3 blinks, 3 blinks. Okay, so right here, I'm just sitting in his charge range outside of tower range. Like, you're not in any danger at all, but if he presses the E button on you, at minimum, he loses half of his remaining health. I like that you still knew about it and you were still thinking about it with that blink away. I just think that you needed to play it a little closer to him. Yeah, I saw what the blink was going for. I'm just saying that regardless of your execution with the blink timing, was a little bit doomed because of how you were positioning, a little too far away from him. Like, he couldn't press E on you, so you weren't even giving him the option to get baited. There, you just needed to not stand behind the minions. You end up going into this fight at 90% health instead of full health because you just stood next to your teammates and next to the minions and ate the free cocktail damage. Like, let's go back, and I want to talk about how I would approach this. I would either be right here, hitting this, but I wouldn't be up here. So you're basically, your 2 options are, or 3 options, are go the way you did, where you're guaranteed to take cocktail damage and go in at about 90%. It's to go over here and hit this, but Greymane will auto-attack you, and then you'll just take even more damage. Or it's to go down here, not take any cocktail damage, and the Varian can't hit you back. So if you're right here, this is how I would be approaching it. I'd be creeping up around this tower, going forward rather than going straight through here. So you would be further along, closer to the enemy team, and you would have more health going into this fight than you do right now. There you go. Punish the Sylv. She just eat into your team. You should kill that every time. There you go. Alrighty. That was a good melee. Good pressure, good pressure, good pressure. I'm loving what I'm seeing. You basically did everything you were supposed to do. Like, once you were on them, that was exactly how you were supposed to play it. What was that blink? At this point, I'm looking at the Greymane every time. Like, I'm literally standing like as close as I can outside of fort range. So that way, as soon as we push up, I can get on the Greymane. If you're right here, I think if you're right here, you're already hitting this tower. Greymane is either not in this position, he's further back and not damaging your minion wave, or he's still this far up and you just kill him for free. You have Pulse Bomb. If he tries to trade with you, he loses every time. Now, once I see that his teammates are here, then I hightail it out of there. But you were still in 0 risk either way. I think that you could have been a little more aggressive on this Greymane here. If his teammates were going mid, he dies every time. Or he steps back, doesn't clear the mini wave, and you get extra siege damage. Either way. Let's see. God, I want 13 so bad right now as I'm watching this. Okay. Never, if you go through here, I'm going to be really sad, because as I've talked about a million times, if you stand on top of your teammates, you're doing it wrong. At minimum, if you go through here, you should be blinking at least once, possibly twice, to get over to here. I would either be going this way, or immediately down to, like right above my head, where you see the webcam. Like right here, or over there. You get mind controlled. See, like, and that's what I'm talking about. This is one of the main rules of good tracer play that I love to harp on about, is how if you stand on top of your teammates, you're going to take a lot of incidental damage and get hit by a lot of incidental skill shots that the enemy team wasn't even meaning to hit you with. And any poke damage that you take on tracer is disastrous. If it could have been avoided, you want to avoid it. So right here, you're stacking on top of your teammates, which means you get hit by this mind control that you understandably didn't see through all of this shit that's happening. But that mind control leaves you in the middle of the enemy team, forcing out an early recall. And then once your recall is down, you're still low health and you're unable to contribute. You can't really chase into this because you don't have pulse bomb, you don't have recall, and if you did, this Varian dies and this Grey Main dies every single time. Like, looking at those health bars, you should be able to pulse bomb melee the other one of them, or even just pulse bomb one of them and auto melee the other, and that's a double kill. I think at minimum you cost yourself 2 kills by standing in your team, and those would have guaranteed both worked out right there. Lock in that ricochet. It's control 2. We've got bullet spray at the top, ricochet, leeching rounds. 1, 2, 3. Yep, there we go. That's a control 2 right there. Lock it in mid-fight. Where are you going? Let's take a look at this. Skip the nerdy the next 30 seconds, please. Feels bad. I'm sorry, I don't look at chat that much. Notice melee on tower. Fuck me, this melee usage is tilting me. I take a ton of cocktail poke this game. Alright. Here, you chase this Regar every single time, and you lock in Ricochet, because the whole time you're hitting him, the shots will bounce onto the Grey Main, and you'll be getting bullet time value. So you'll outrun these two people right here, and you'll be able to hit both of them at the same time. Going for the Sylvanas here is a huge misplay. You easily have at least 1 kill here guaranteed, very, very likely 2. And you don't get the Sylvanas. Let's see. Good pressure. That was entirely the Grey Main just standing on top of a tracer for no reason, and you did excellently to recognize that and punish it. That was good. You need this globe, there you go. Your Garrosh is kind of terrible. That's okay. Alrighty. At this point, I would just play a rotation. You're never gonna get a kill in lane in this situation. Like, not when they're this pushed up. You just don't deal enough sustained damage before 16. Because keep in mind, nothing gives you more sustained damage, 1 to 15. Ricochet gives you... It gives you sustained damage on other people, but I'm talking purely single target sustained damage. Nothing. From 1 to 16, you're not going to be able to create a kill in this situation ever. The only possible thing you can do right now is play the rotational game. So I think that being in lane right now is a misplay. Unless it's to clear wave. If it's to clear wave, this is actually decent. Meleeing the wave is perfectly fine. That, never mind. So your 2 options were to play wave clear or to play rotations, and you chose the wave clear. That's fine. Now that you see the Sylvanas in bot lane, I assume that's where you're rotating. No? Okay. Once again, you're never going to create a kill here. Whereas we did see the Sylvanas push up really hard, and you're starting to miss soak. Let's see. Oh my god. She was definitely out of the kill threshold here, so this is something that I rag on a lot of Tracer players for doing. And I think that this is the classic example. I've seen this right here a million times. So you're at full health. You have all 3 blinks. You blink once onto the Sylvanas. You're still literally full health with a break it down on you from Lucio with a sound barrier. You have 4k health on a target that's not even gonna die to your pulse bomb, and you recall away instead of just staying on her. This is something that I see a lot of people do because they're depending too hard on the parting gift damage. There was no reason to press recall. It actually costs you the kill and costs you your recall CD. Whereas if you stayed on her and killed her, you could have continued to chase. And if the Varian had stayed on you to try and peel you, the Varian would have died too. Also, you just... like another thing that I messed up a lot early on is you go for something that would be a kill if the target doesn't get a heal. And that also was the case right there. So those two things, overestimating your kill threshold by not properly accounting for an enemy heal, and also just pressing recall for no reason. Alright, let's see here. Oh, why did you back up? Okay, you're doing alright. Go on the Rhaegar, shift onto the Rhaegar. What are you doing in the Grey Mane? Okay, let's talk about this. Okay. So you're auto-attacking, you're auto-attacking, you're auto-attacking. You harass this Varian. You go up and melee him right here. You need to blink onto him and melee him. All he's concerned about is getting out right now. You have a free melee right here, and you do it about 3 seconds later than you should have, which actually greatly compromises your burst control, or your burst potential, because look at when you drop this pulse bomb. You drop it with 4 seconds left on your melee, meaning that you would have been able to melee right about here. If you melee right there, you can at least kill this Varian. Very, very likely. But either way, I don't even think the Varian should have been the kill target. I think that once both of those targets were taunted, it was easily the Rhaegar that you choose. So the melee comes late. You're focusing this guy down. Your Lucio should have been down here instead of up there. Yeah, you kill the Rhaegar every time, and then you just hightail it out. Your Lucio died. That was out of your control, but you could have gotten a kill right here. It's incorrect target focus and a late melee are your problems. And also just the target swap onto the Grey Mane was literally never going to work. Without locked and loaded, without task shielding or any kind of healing bringing your health back up, you will always lose that duel. So that was guaranteed to fail. And you very, very nearly died as a result. Let's see. I think that you just saw the big health bar and assumed you had more health than you did. I just heard a beeping. Give me a second. I don't know if that was some app warning me of something on my desktop or what's going on. Whatever, I think we'll be okay. Anyway, let me see. Do I think Time is a good tracer? I don't know who that is. Let me see. So, even if you think he doesn't have taunt, there's just no reason to get in melee range here. Oh, god damn it, I went past it again. Okay, so let's look at this. Okay, so maybe you stepped up trying to get the melee hit. But either way, that's just playing with fire when you're at that low health. I would have given it a second and tried to finish him with melee. Because there's like no matter when you hit the melee, if you're only going to get one melee in on him right here, you might as well push it to as late as possible. And execute him with it, because that gives you more time for that healing to kick in from the healing fountain right there, which actually would have been a lot. And if you had gone for it for the execute rather than for the initial pressure, would have saved you a ton of heartbreak right here.
You've lost this one, Raven Lord.
You've lost this one, Raven Lord. Blah 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 blah. Where are you going? Your teammates are getting kills. That's big pog. Get on the Rhaegar, 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 the Rhaegar. Okay, you definitely could have chased them through this bush. I don't know why you run away. Let me take a look at this again. So here, I'm just going to describe what should be happening as you go through. So here, you're shooting the Varian for free as you're walking past. Rhaegar bites in, you immediately swap to Rhaegar. He is now your new target. You blink down to here. Like, you should blink to about here and continue chasing them, because if they turn and fight you, they lose. This is a 5v3. If they turn and fight you, they guaranteed lose. You keep hitting the Rhaegar, he runs into this bush, you run right in after him, because the same principle still applies. If they turn and hit you, they lose this fight. Guaranteed. The only way this fight goes poorly is if you let them walk away. That is the only way this doesn't work. So you jump into this bush, you keep hitting the Rhaegar. Varian taunts you, and then you can probably switch to the Varian or stay on the Rhaegar and get a kill. So it was too much target focus on the wrong person, and you gave up too early on a 5v3. Valkyrie endorses kill stealing. You heard it here, folks? Of course. There you go. Hit that reload. I would hit that Varian every single time. If Varian wants to step up like that, like, so in this scenario, I want to just, like, I would be positioned on this far side of the tower, ready to hit anyone who steps up. Because when you're positioned over here, you can't take advantage of anything, you know what I mean? Like, it's, like, you saw when I was coaching Aurora's Lieutenant Morales, and I was saying, you have to think, okay, what if someone comes out and just destroys me right now? What if they're in that bush? You have to play like that. Similarly, right now, if you're right here, you're thinking, if someone steps up, they just die. Like, I can kill anyone who steps up, but a Varian can walk to here and make it out perfectly fine because you're not in position to capitalize on it. Just like Aurora needed to be scared of being capitalized on, you needed to be ready to capitalize on the enemy player here. So if you were here hitting this tower, and Varian steps up like that, you immediately dismount him, and he has to run all the way back through this lane. He is never going to make it. At minimum, you're going to get him down to 30%. At minimum, you probably will kill him, but maybe his team is here to support him. Yeah, the Rhaegar is right here. Either way, you're going to shred him. This very easily could have been a punish. Alright, let's see here. God, my throat is like torn up right now. I don't know why, but I'm in like active pain in my throat. I don't think I'm gonna play Storm League after just because I want to recuperate a bit, but we'll get through this game. He spent a long time not auto-attacking there. Let's see. Right now, I would just blink to here and just start working on these skeleton mages. You're spending a lot of time not auto-attacking, which to me tells me that rather than A moving around, you're right-click moving around and then right-clicking your targets. And Tracer is a hero that while you're just walking around, unless you're specifically target-focusing something, you should be A moving. Because think about it, what's the detriment of A moving around normally? Is that it stops you from moving correctly. Like say you're trying to walk and you stop an auto attack, that messes up your movement speed and it slows you down. That's not a concern on Tracer. So when you right click around like this, you're spending a lot of time just not hitting targets that you could be. Like I want you to actually sit here, watch this team fight and notice how much time you're literally not shooting anything. It's pressing S rather than A by accident? Okay. So I was gonna say, you need to be A moving in this fight. You're shooting, not shooting, not shooting, not shooting. That was reload. Not shooting, not shooting. Then more shooting. And then not shooting. Not shooting, not shooting, not shooting. Not shooting, not shooting, not shooting. Not shooting. You know, like you actually missed probably over 10 auto attacks that fight, which is 15 auto attacks worth of damage with locked and loaded. That's a huge damage difference. There you go, they just give your Garrosh a free kill. Okay, so again here, this is one thing I talked about. You're standing on top of your team, and it puts you into kill range. So watch, notice right here, get the free kill on the Rhaegar, that's good. But right here, I'm going up here. I'm going up here every time in this scenario. If they want to blink on me, I can just blink back. Or if they want to jump on me, I can blink back. I've still got to blink. But you're standing behind your team and really right on top of them. But if you're up here, this cocktail never hits you. Like, you can be parallel to your team, like where this, like, lump is, or stump is. You can be, like, slightly below that stump. This cocktail never hits you. If that cocktail doesn't hit you, that's 429 damage you avoid. Right now, you immediately have to run away. You can no longer contribute to this fight. Never mind, the Greymane died, so now you can contribute by ranged auto-attacking the Varian. But either way, that made you much more scared and unable to contribute. The Varian just ended up, or the Greymane ended up dying right after anyway. But if you take out that 429 damage, you have zero fear. The enemy team just kind of hardens anyway, so it ends up not really being a concern. If you had that extra 429 health, though, this Varian dies every time. Okay, so you ended up, so that actually did end up culminating in something. If you didn't lose that health, you don't have to recall to kill this Varian because you just straight up win the duel against him anyway. So that's another example of just not standing on top of your teammates because it will cause you to eat random damage. And when Tracer is low, she has such a small health pool that any extra damage on you very immediately puts you into burst kill range. see. Now you need to go down. You need to be on these camps. Your teammates can take a wave clear or something, but your camp clear is exceptional, so that needs to be your job right now. Recall Divine the Varian. No, I understood that recall was really good. Like, that was actually very good, and I don't usually use recall like that, but I love that usage. Let's see. Alrighty. I think that this isn't the proper distribution of heroes, but whatever. There you go, hit that. Oh my god. And notice how if the Garrosh was here, like, I think you probably should have just gone to this camp, because as I mentioned, your teammates have the wave clear. Your teammates can do this. Your job is to do camps. You do camps better than anybody on this team. You shred them super hard. It's just a small group of a few units that can't damage you at all. I think if you were on this camp instead of the Garrosh, the Lucio probably doesn't die here because he's got that cleanse near him. He's got someone to soak it up instead. Like, obviously the Lucio shouldn't have been out of position, but just as we talked about before, I think if you went to the correct place, his misplay doesn't matter. Or at least is very less likely to turn into a death for him. 0 times this game, to be fair. I mean, sure, but this is still the correct play. Regardless of how bad your teammates are, let's still talk about the correct play. I don't know, I fully understand what you're saying. Okay. Let's see. For sure, you have to take into account clowning, as in you have to watch for your teammates' mistakes and play around that. That is what I mean by you have to take into account clowning. Like, either way though, like right there, definitely just go to the camp, ping your Garrosh to go to your team if he goes to that camp with you, that kind of thing. That was a great get stuff. Unfortunately, the Zul's just got the ridiculous self-healing. And you need to be getting the damage out right here. There you go, there you go. Kill the Rhaegar, the Rhaegar. Oh, you had the Rhaegar kill right here. Hold on, I'm actually really curious why you didn't go for it. Okay, so let's talk about this. You're focusing the Zul really hard, like you're supposed to. Now you're just kind of autoing forward. The Rhaegar is really isolated. You want to go for him. Yes. And he's still isolated. He's in melee range. You melee him right here. Instead, you're walking away at full health. And then you can still kill him if you're autoing him, because if you didn't walk away and you were right here, you would be killing him. He would be 1 melee away. You could blink melee recall, he dies. You can still kill him if you're still autoing him right here. I don't know, Rhaegar could have definitely died right there. I still have recall and I'm running away? Yes. And that's why I always say recall is your real ultimate ability. He's scared of taunt. I mean, he wasn't in danger of getting taunted at any point. Even if he steps up for that Rhaegar, he's not going to get taunted. Look at the Varian's positioning. If you're here, Rhaegar dies. You melee him, he takes 4 more autos and he dies. Because, like, think about it. Let's actually look. I'm actually curious about the math. Rhaegar right now, 1127 health. He gets meleeed by a Tracer. He drops down 1127 minus 42. We'll call that minus 500. He's at about 600 health right now. And your autos are dealing 80 damage. Yeah. So you shoot 8 times and he dies, 7 times and he dies. Like, which isn't that hard because you shoot 8 auto attacks a second. Like, he wasn't in danger of getting taunted because that Varian was so far away at any point. He had recall. Even if he get taunted, there was a very significant chance he was going to survive. There was no go for the throat available. Like, not only is it important to not blow recall unnecessarily because it enables aggressive and defensive play, but it's also important to play to that aggression and to that ability to be more active with these fights when you do have recall available. Should I just not right-click and always A-move in these situations? That's so, Cascon, you right-click when you want to stay on the target that you're already hitting. As in, like, if I'm already hitting a target that I want to stay trained on, then I right-click to move. If I'm just walking around in fights and I'm not, like, specifically training a target, then I A-move everywhere. You know what I mean? So once you've acquired them and you don't want to switch targets at all, you want to stay on them, right-click. If you're in the process of acquisition or you don't have someone that you're specifically hard trained on at the moment, you A-move everywhere. Yeah, it's not like Tassadar or anything where there's a significant swap time. Like Tassadar or Zarya, if you keep swapping back and forth between targets, you actually lose damage. That's not really relevant as Tracer. Okay, so here let's talk more about this. This is again just the thing I talk about all the time that I say is like one of the main sins of Tracer players is they stand too close to their teammates. So here you walk into Greymane auto attack range, that's forgivable, but here you step behind Leoric against a splash Greymane, you take a splash of damage. You take another splash of damage. You take a cocktail of damage. You would be at full health if you were just standing over here. The big thing about Tracer is never stand on top of other people. Stand to the side all the time. So you're going in now, you have like 40% health. You're not as willing to go for these aggressive plays because you know now 2 more autos and Greymane can delete you. Whereas if you weren't standing on top of your teammates, you would be at full health and you would be right here in the front lines threatening those kills. Like every time you violate the rule of not standing on top of your teammates, you immediately get chunked to like having almost no health left. Reload, there you go. No real reason to step up without your teammates, that's just gone. I like that you didn't bait the Varian charge there. Thanks for the follow, Last Shade.
This is what #1 GM looks like, baby.
I like that you didn't bait the charge there, because even if you did, your teammates weren't in a position to follow up and your Garrosh was dead. That was good recognition. So now you've got to rejoin your team here. Okay. I would start harassing. There you go. Why aren't you joining this fight? Yeah, see, I was going to say you need to be on the side. Like, you don't want to run into this hallway with them, but you don't want to just be sitting on these sappers. You want to be, like, up here. I was going to say you need to curl around here. And you started to. So now I would kill these mages. Feels bad. Keep hitting the Varian. Keep hitting the Varian. Ooh, you got to blink out of that Zul Q. And once again, now that you've chased into the hallway, you stood on top of people. No one was focusing you, yet you still lost all of your health. So here, hit the Varian, 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 hit the Varian. Do not chase in here. Stepping beyond this point is a misplay. At this point, you can shoot over this wall if they stay right here. So your goal now in the fight is to walk this way, shoot over this wall, and stay here. If they move in to chase you guys, you move to the left. If they move to the right to run away from you guys, you move to the right. But either way, stepping here instead of here is the misplay that causes you to go from this much health to that much health. And now you're useless in the fight. And so now Lucio, he's trying to heal you, and he's not healing the Leoric. I don't think that him being able to heal the Leoric instead of you would have made the difference. But either way, it at least would have made them not kill the Leoric so quickly because he's trying to fix your own positioning error there. Was that get stuff good, by the way? I don't know. I felt like it was okay. I feel like there was probably a better use somewhere, but so many other things stick out to me about that fight. Oh, you better blink this. Okay, there you go. That was close. That was definitely the right idea. Absolutely. If it worked, it would have been beautiful. Oh, where are you going? Kill the Varian. Yes! Yes! Took you a second to recognize the kill. But you got it. Keep hitting this guy. Keep hitting this guy. You gotta blink away. Yeah. Now you need to go through here, rejoin your team, just mount up. Oh, wait. Oh, game's over. Let me watch this again. I didn't realize the objective was up. Okay. Yeah, it looks like game is just over from this point on anyway. I was exclusively looking at this. I wasn't looking at the minimap because I was trying to judge your play rather than like play it myself. No, in this scenario then, you need to keep pushing forward. So now, what I actively dislike about this play now, because I do think that maybe you had a chance, alright? So look, you harass Varian, harass Varian, harass Varian, harass Varian. Go in, keep hitting him, don't stop hitting him right here. Like, you kind of walk away for no reason with recall up. Your Falstad's actively mind controlled. He's going to be the target focus, and you have a sound barrier. You're in literally zero danger. You stop hitting Varian for a second, then you go in to confirm the kill, and then this part, you need to go forward and now be on this side of them. I didn't realize that was also win the game. I get you. So now you need to blink to this side and be on this side of them and hit them from here. What's the Sylph gonna do to you? She has no mana, you know what I mean? And then you see the Rhaegar, like you'll be over here harassing, you'll see Rhaegar on your mini-map, hopefully, and then you'll come over here and interrupt it, and then maybe Lucio and Falstad can rotate in time. But without that, and with like this weird pseudo-duel, which I think even if you had 40 shots left, this duel with Greymane was doomed to fail, because the whole thing that makes Tracer good is being able to hit people without getting hit back and abusing your superior positioning, and abusing your AoE team damage. None of that really comes into play when you kind of blink onto a solo Greymane rather than being over on this side. Like, I think regardless of score, I definitely would have gone onto this side of the team fight and hit them from there, even if this Rhaegar didn't exist. Okay. Yeah, you definitely could have interrupted the Rhaegar right there. And then, if your teammates rotated, there's a decent chance that you wipe them and can win this game from that point on.
Defeat.
Let's take a look at these stats. 85,000, not bad. Decent siege. I believe all the talents were correct. Yep. This is exactly the build you should have gone. For anybody who's curious about how I build Tracer, you can type !Tracer, no link my build, and how I feel about every talent that she has. And I don't know. Big things. Let me see. Let me just try to condense what we talked about this game. Need to hit heroes more. You're hitting minions a lot in team fights. Better melee usage overall. If you think you're going to fight in the next 8 seconds, there's never a reason to melee a non-hero. Outside of, like, ridiculously extreme circumstances. Don't stand on top of other people. Always look how to exploit the enemy team, because you're very passive. Like, when you're not in fights, it was clear you weren't thinking about, okay, what if they mess up and I can jump on them right now? Or what am I going to do if somebody pops out right now? In the same way that you should think about self-preservation as a support, as Tracer, you should think about what to do if a fight breaks out. That's how you should be visualizing the next step of the game. Better melee usage. The locked and loaded was great. Don't stand on top of teammates. Target focus was a big thing. When to A move, when to right click, we talked about that. The pulse bombs were good. You didn't have any problems with playing into the shield wall and Varian, which is a very common one in that matchup. Don't lean on recall so hard. One, don't use recall when you don't need to. That was a really common thing. Oh, well, that was kind of common. But the big thing with recall usage this game was definitely just you have recall and you're too scared. Like, I understand playing scared when you don't have recall because your hero is way worse when you don't have that ability up, but you had a lot of times where you were full health with recall up and you were scared to just get in there and make something happen. So that's, you need to learn to assess what you can do in a given situation by looking at your health total, looking at the heroes, and looking at your recall cooldown and your pulse bomb rotation, your pulse bomb charge. I just saw the word rotation in chat. Interrupt rotations, yeah, that could have been part of it. That was only really relevant at like level 1, and he played it decently. We talked about that a bit. The pulse bomb or the melee at the level 1 fight needed to go on the Greymane on heroes. Like typically when I'm playing Tracer, the level 1, when I'm the one who's forced to catch soak. I mean, Cascon, like I was saying, in that scenario, you interrupt that rotation, and then if your teammates just don't go catch the soak, then you do it yourself. Like, I agreed with that part, where you went down to catch the soak yourself, once your teammates weren't doing it, but that's what you should go into the level 1 fight looking to do. Obviously, you can adapt on the fly, but I don't think that, that may have necessarily been on your mind. Because, like, level 1, I'm looking to go in, I'm looking to build pulse bomb charge, follow up on any hard CC that my teammates have if we have a credible chance at getting a level 1 kill, which you did with a Garrosh who secured superior position on that bush. That should have been the thing on your mind, is building pulse bomb charge by meleeing a hero and looking for a kill off the throw combo, which both are a result of the same action. You know what I mean? They're both a result of just following up on the throw and meleeing a hero. You could have worked towards both goals at the same time. So I go into the level 1 fight thinking, melee a hero, auto as much as possible without taking damage, and then if I get a kill off that, great. If not, whatever. The immediate next thing I'm looking to do is cut off rotations, and very often, it's not even the 4-man rotation I'm looking to cut off from level 1, but actually the solo laner rotation. I've had a lot of games where I very early start out with an advantage because I went in, I shot a round or two or a magazine or two of auto attacks. I meleeed an enemy hero and then I just yeeted out of vision and I just went to cut off the solo laner. Because like solo laners are often bruisers that you can kite and very easily sort of cut off and interact with and interfere with, whereas the 4-man, you may not necessarily have as much ease with that. So like say for instance, they have a Blaze solo laner in that scenario. A lot of times like I'll literally just go up, auto attack, melee like their tank or something, and then I go out of vision and then I just run over and interrupt the Blaze, because Blaze can do literally nothing to me. Whereas there are other scenarios where their solo laner doesn't, where I didn't achieve that positioning in time because maybe I was greeting for a kill or maybe I just wasn't in the right position myself, and I'll cut off the 4-man rotation. But that is how I think about the level 1 as Tracer. Get that charge, get as much charge as possible, cut off rotations. If my teammates won't get the soaks, then I go to it afterwards, which is exactly what you did, and that was a good adaptation, but that is the mindset you should have. I miss you too, Diana Griefer. There's nothing in interrupt rotations that I was thinking that my team wouldn't catch the soak, so I had to. I mean, yeah, Cascon. Like I said, like that should be on your mind as something to flex into, but it's not the ideal. And of course, you shouldn't stick to the ideal when it conflicts with the pragmatic, when it conflicts with the actual, but you should strive for the ideal when realistic. Kill Globe first, good on Tracer. Yeah, when you have a lane to yourself, kill Globe first, or when you're about to rotate to something, kill the Globe. You had 2 different opportunities where that would have had an actual significant effect on your laning phase, because you had a fight immediately after and you didn't have that Globe when you needed it. And then also just, you can probably pre-tap before fights. Nothing jumped out to me as a significant opportunity to abuse health pack and pre-tap right before going into a fight, but it's definitely something to think about. By the way, there was tons of stuff you went over this game. It's very helpful. I give it a month before I'm best Tracer in the world. Kappa. I mean, I honestly think I could make a lot of people really good Tracers. Like Loki, not to toot my own horn here, but I'm definitely going to do it. I think that if Nesper and I kept working together, I think that we easily could have made him best Tracer NA. Because I think I have the best understanding of Tracer of anyone in the world. But I don't think I'm the best mechanical player, and I think that I mess up a lot of things a lot of times, and that I'm a very forgetful person. So like if I could coach someone and transfer that understanding to them, a player who's very good on those things and is a better overall player than me but doesn't have these specific understandings, I think I could make someone into like by far the best Tracer in the world if we were able to partner like that. I mean, like, I don't know. Thank you, Cascon. I appreciate that. Like, I think like I said, I think I understand the hero, like, as a concept and what to know better than anyone. I think that there are a lot of players that execute better than me, but I know the matchups and I know what to do better than anyone else. Did I say best? I meant worse. Seems good. Do you know how to dodge? Do we know how to dodge Pyroblast yet? There are multiple ways you can dodge Pyroblast. There are 3 different ways Tracer can dodge Pyroblast. You can blink out of range while he's casting it. You can recall while he's casting it to interrupt the channel. Or after it's already on its way to you, you can recall and it'll hit your recall point while you're in the 1 second invulnerability period and it won't damage anything. Alrighty. That wraps it up for the games here tonight. I would play some games after this and do some Storm League, but unfortunately, like I mentioned earlier, my throat is killing me right now. I'm in a decent bit of pain, and I think I'm just going to take it easy for the rest of the night, y'all. Thanks for sloth. All right, thank you, Cascon. This was a really interesting replay to go over, and I always love talking about this hero.